Welcome back, scholars, to our third installment in our statistical journey on random samples. Today we're going to be learning to comprehend what it means to be random in the context of statistics so I can explain what it means to select at random. I'll know I've got it when I can recognize that the way I choose a sample matters and that random samples have less bias. As you can see, we have a few additional vocabulary words, so please make sure that you define those before proceeding to our second slide. So, to open up, we have a reporter that wants to know how people feel about the governor of her state. She decides to ask 100 people their opinions and thinks of several ways to ask the 100 people. For each method, explain the benefits and drawbacks, then choose the method for selecting 100 people that would best represent the people of the state. You'll drag and drop these methodologies, categorizing them with the best way to sample the population at the top and the worst way at the bottom. Why is it important that we ensure that random selection unfolds when selecting a sample? Random sampling or random selection is important so that the sample better represents the whole population. If we strategically select, almost in the case of the court of law with a jury, people that, for instance, do you like fast food, and you're asking a bunch of fitness enthusiasts, or how often do you eat fast food, you're going to get a very biased answer, as you can probably make the assumption that fitness enthusiasts don't eat fast food as much as the regular American. So that is a very superficial, surface level example, and as I had mentioned in our first video, right, statistics play a critical role in shaping our democracy and our government and other areas of the world. So it is critical that when selecting your population that's going to answer the question that you are exploring, you do it with the least amount of bias possible. In this instance, we have a research group interested in comparing the effects of different types of music on short-term memory, gathers 200 volunteers for a study. Brain fart. Is this an experimental study or an observational study? And based on the descriptions above that I will spare you from reading, which group do you hypothesize will recall more words? Here are some options for splitting the volunteers into group. Which method will best address the intention of this study? After you select your option, make sure you explain your reasoning. We have, for our final activity, a company offering solar power systems made up of 1 square meter cells arranged into rectangles. They use the design for their first 100 customers to list the ways people arrange the cells. They are interested in investigating this question: what is the mean area of the rectangles created by our customers? In case you have forgotten, when we utilize the word mean, we are describing the average. And in order to calculate the average, we are going to add up a particular number of values and then divide the sum by the total number of values that we combined. Very quickly, you are doing your own sampling. So quickly at the chart, select 5 rectangles by their numbers. And 3 other sampling methods. After you have selected your sets of 5 rectangles, you'll come over and determine what the average area of the rectangles in the sample actually is. So remember, each square represents 1 square meter. So in the case of, let's say, 77, I have a 3 by 1, 2, 3, I think that's a 6, 3 by 6, that's 18. Right, so I would take 18 as the area for 77. I would calculate the average, or the area for 46, for 13, for 4, and for 9. Sum those values together and divide by 5 and replicate that process. Right, so I said 18 plus area 2 plus area 3 plus area 4 plus area 5. And then once again, we're going to divide by 5. Based on the methods that you utilized, what method do you think is best for estimating the mean area of the entire population? And as I had mentioned previously, right, the pro and con of statistics is that it gives you a very broad avenue to which you can explore your research question. However, it constantly leaves you open to criticism because there could be a potential better sample survey study type that you can utilize. So share your thoughts with your classmates. The lesson 3 summary gives you some valuable information, and we're going to pause there and pick up with a fantastic discussion during our time together.